Pumapasok yung
Mas
mga
maliit kasi
particles.
yung particulates ng bug, galing sa bug, kaysa sa actual butas ng mga mask.
Oo.
Oo.
So kaya nga natatakot na naman yung mga tao tulad ng pagkwentuhan natin kahapon. Ito ba yung pattern na naman? Wag naman sana.
No,
Kasi nagsimula, bago nag-COVID-19 pandemic, di ba, nagsimula ito.
But you know, patterns
Ubusan ng mask.
patterns may be the same naman, but it doesn't mean yung nangyari sa pandemic mangyayari with regards to Mpox.
Oo.
Simply put, is because we already know what Mpox is. Matagal na siya
we
nandito.
know how to deal with
We have a
it.
vaccine already for it. Yung COVID kasi noon, walang idea talaga what it was eh.
Yes, oo. Sige, let's continue with our countdown. Buzzing at the 9th spot is La Trinidad Benguet. The capital town is considering declaring a state of calamity due to the rising number of dengue cases in the area. Over 1,400 dengue cases were reported in La Trinidad since January of this year. 2 of them died from the illness. Health workers and volunteers have conducted fogging operations and other methods to destroy possible breeding sites of mosquitoes. O hindi biro yun, 1,400 cases ng dengue.
Mataas yun, mataas.
Oo. And di ba nagkaroon din tayo ng mga several reports here also ng mga ilang areas din na medyo tumataas din yung bilang ng dengue cases. Dahil nga ngayon tag-ulan, maraming mga stagnant waters din ng yun, nakakaligtaan.
It's been a perennial problem for us, especially in yung metro area, and then now you have in Baguio, basta populated areas eh. Plus mosquitoes nito, they love yung, not yung mga, gusto nila actually malinis na tubig na stagnant. That's where they breed eh. And Aedes aegypti, di ba? Yung blue rider mosquito.
Yes.
Actually, it's easily identifiable eh. Malaki siya compared to the other mosquitoes. Tapos may stripe na blue sa back niya all the way sa legs niya. Makikita mo siya. Lumayo ka na kay Blue Rider.
Tuloy ako. Pero yun nga, so ingat-ingat na lang tayo. And there are several barangays here naman in Metro Manila. Nakikita ko, nagkakandak din sila mga fogging operations. Para nga, kung kasakali ay talagang matigilan yung pagkalat
Yes, oo.
dengue.
And just to,
napakarami nating problema ngayon.
Monitor daw yourselves. If 3 days you still have low-grade to medium-grade fever, magpa-check na kayo for dengue. May dengue test naman yan eh. Kasi yan ang critical time ng dengue is 3rd to the 5th to the 7th day. Tapos i-check nila yan kasi if ever yung blood mo lumalapot.
Yes.
So kailangan ng swero, simple swero lang. Actually, nang gamot dyan eh. Simple swero, fever management para to make sure you're okay. Hydration is the key.
Actually, they attributed also yung pagdami ng lamok dito sa atin nung nagkaroon ng mga hilig yung tao sa halaman.
Mga plantita
Kaya
ang dumami.
I remember that kasi ini-advise nga nila na ayusin yung paghahalaman to make sure that when they water the plants, 'di ba, walang naiiwan ng mga tubig-tubig na.
Pero may kasabihan naman sa ganyan eh, pag may lamok, hey poke.
Joke pa 'yan?
Hindi mo alam yung commercial na yan?
Alam ko yan, alam ko. Pero masama yun sa lungs, kaya kailangan mag-ano ka na lang, yung lotion.
Nag-joke lang.
Let's continue with our countdown. Coming in at our top 8, the African swine fever has already spread beyond the province of Batangas. The Agriculture Department says several areas in Quezon have tested positive for ASF. There are also reports that the virus has been detected among hogs in Cavite and other provinces in Luzon. According to the DA, they are now conducting tests for ASF vaccines prior to actual vaccination.
Lumabas na yan sa Batangas, medyo may lumalabas na rin sa Quezon konti. Meron na kami reports sa ibang lugar pa na lumalabas yan na malayo-malayo dito sa Luzon.
Diba? Ang dami nating problema. We have Mpox. Well, although one case pa lang dito sa Philippines, mamaya pag-usapan natin.
ASF,
we have dengue.
We have avian influenza.
We have bug. Ang dami. Pero ito, di ba yung sinasabi natin, pinag-uusapan natin a week ago regarding ASF, na sabi nila, ano ba yun, isolated case, hindi nila ipapatupad yung stricter protocols ng tulad ng ginawa nila during the pandemic, di ba? So, kasi kaya naman daw i-contain. Pero ito nga, kumakalat na. So, antayin na lang din natin yung vaccines. Yan ang importante
Naisip
kasi.
ko, Lalagyan ko ba ng face mask ang baboy?
Of course not. Ano ka
Kasi-
ba?
kasi isip ko-
Pero para sa akin kasi they should...
Ay, isip ko kasi same protocol. Baka lagyan ko ng face mask tsaka shield yung baboy.
Ay, nako. Hindi tayo sa nagmamagaling, pero dapat talaga mas inigpitan na yung,
No,
yung protocols nung
with or
before
without,
pa.
actually, madami nagsasabi, with or without COVID, it's up to you naman kung gusto mo mag-face mask. Pero madaming mas nangiginhawa
No, I'm
na...
talking about ASF.
I know, but in general, yung mga nag-maintain ng protocol after COVID, nagwa-wash ng hands, naglalagay ng mask, napansin nila na yung mga respiratory illnesses or yung mga sakit na dating nararamdaman nila pre-pandemic, medyong nawawala daw. Ibig sabihin, hindi na nangyayari sa kanila. Ang dami nagkikwento lang. I'm not talking about COVID. I'm talking about sakit in general, those who maintain
Hindi,
the...
na-loss ako kasi I'm talking about ASF.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm talking about in general, if I'm saying kasi ang dugtong nito, any precaution that is taken, regardless of what sickness it is, ay wala namang masama. Because at the end of the day, prevention is better than cure.
Yes. So
Yun ang dinidireksyon ko. Ikaw naman eh.
Hindi ko kasi nag-guess mo face mask yung baboy. Pero yun nga. So kasi 'di ba, ang kaakibat niyan kapag maraming mga namamatay due to ASF, syempre tataasan naman yung tataas yung presyo ng mga baboy dahil magkakaroon ng mga kakulangan sa bilang ng mga baboy. Although meron daw repopulation program, pero make sure yung repopulation program na yun hindi maapektuhan ng ASF.
Okay na.
And with that, let's continue with our countdown.
Ba, ikaw nag-segue? Wala, hindi eh.
Ay, hindi
Other
pala eh.
news to
Okay,
eh. Ganun
go.
naman kasi. In other news, the Marcos administration launched the Servicio Fair Caravan to help in expediting government services. Mobile Journal Julie Baiza with the report.
President Bongbong Marcos is urging government agencies and local government units to make it easier and more accessible for Filipinos to receive the help they need. This is part of the Bagong Pilipinas Servicio Fair or BPSF.
Hinihiling ko sa lahat na ang ating mga iba't ibang may ahensya ng pamahalaan, kasama lalo na ang local government unit, na patuloy pa nating pagbutihin, pabilisin at palawakin ang mga serbisyo upang maabot natin ang lahat ng ating mga kababayan nasan man sila naroon.
The Servicio Fair Caravan acts as a one-stop shop offering services like processing passports, NBI clearances, loan applications, and even consultations with the PhilHealth and SSS. It began in Ilocos Norte but now it has reached 21 provinces.
Napakahirap iwanan ng trabaho, napakahirap iwanan ng ang mga bata, napakahirap maghanap ng sasakyan, lalo na kung malalayo, mahal ang pamasahe. Kaya binaliktad natin, ba't sila pa ang pupunta sa atin? Kaya ito, ngayon, nakita natin ang BPSF. Yan ang naging buhay ng pag-iisip na yan. At sa aking palagay, napakaganda ang naging resulta.
President Marcos proudly shared that the services provided have amounted to 12 billion pesos, while financial aid distributed through the Servicio Fair has reached 5 billion pesos. He also has a message for the public.
Hiyakatin din natin ang ating mga mamamayan na sumali dito sa Servicio Fair at gamitin ang pagkakataon na mapabuti ang kanilang paghanap buhay at ang kanilang pagtulong sa kanilang sarili at sa kanilang pamilya.
Mobile journalist Julie Baiza, We Are One News.
Now coming up, is the World Health Organization recommending travel restrictions against the spread of Mpox.
And Alice Go's legal camp responds to Senator Risa Contiveros' claims that the dismissed mayor fled to Malaysia last month. Hindi nga daw no.
Ka-brunchies natin, marami silang gustong sabihin
Malaysia,
tungkol dito.
Indonesia, Singapore.
Oo, alamin niyo po, ang ating magiging number
Hindi
one mamaya.
Hindi si Alice Go, she did not fled. It was si Go. Bakit pa
What nga? Go.
Nakalimutan ko yung Chinese name niya.
Ha?
Nakalimutan ko yung Chinese name. It's
Si
Go
Go
Waping.
Waping.
Siya ang nag-fled, hindi si Alice Go.
Tignan natin. We are just getting started, mga kapatid. More of our top 10 news when Brunch returns. Keep it here on One News. morning. You're still watching Brunch here on One News.
And let's read some of the messages we have on our Facebook account. We have from Mark Santiago, good morning. YouTube daw is not working. Moving here. Meron Mark, meron na. Baka medyo mahina siguro yung place kung nasaan kayong internet. And Gary Phil, good morning daw. Happy Tuesday. Si Ralph, ang hula niya, go out of PH should be the number 1. Ayan, number 1 daw. Yan ang hula niya. Si Sam Pokemon Go naman, good morning. Cloudy here in Barangka, Mandaluyong. Wear masks, mga ka-brunchies, serves more than 3 purposes. Protects from volcanic smog, pollution, and infection na rin daw.
Si Mig Sebron, nanonood din yan sa atin today. Dito naman sa YouTube, si Gary Co, Mark Santiago, Ronald Maxtay, and of course si Tito Daisy and Tito Naldina, lagi rin nanonood sa atin. Si Els Jum. Yun. Yun din. Si Daisy Cancio din, ang kanyang guest, ang top 1 niya ay yung The Great Escape of Alice Go.
Dati meron tayong Finding Pastor. Ngayon, The Great Escape of Alice.
Grabe. Oh my God.
Daming tumatakas
Mamaya, maglalaan tayo ng oras para dyan. But for the meantime, let's continue with our countdown. Coming at the 7th spot is the Senate hearing on the alleged sexual abuse of actor Sandro Mulak. One of the independent contractors of GMA was detained in the Senate after a heated exchange with Senator Jinggoy Estrada. Estrada moved to cite in contempt Jojo Nones for not directly answering his question about his alleged offer to Sandro's father, Nino Mulak. Nino earlier said that Nones and Richard Cruz apologized to him and offered financial contribution to any charities of his choice. Before this, Sandro virtually joined the hearing for the first time and shared details about his experience with Nones and Cruz. The two independent contractors still denied Sandro's accusations thrown against them.
I was asking you, did you offer any financial contribution to any charitable institution?
No offer po of settlement, Your Honor.
I did not ask if it's a settlement or not. The only question I'm asking you is that if you offered financial contribution. I did not say it's a settlement. You're putting words into my mouth. Mr. Chair, I move that he be cited in contempt.
High blood
Init na high blood. Bigyan yung losartan si Senator Jinggoy. Pero hindi this is not something that we should be laughing about. But for the first time, yun nga sinabi natin ay lumabas nga si Sandro Mulak at in-address nga itong kanyang issue dyan sa Senate hearing.
Kasi nung una, it is si Nino ang speaking on behalf of the son, and then Nino has shown several text messages nga between the son and yung two ICs or independent contractors from GMA, how all of this happened, di ba? So,
and I think yesterday also, nag-file na sila formally ng case sa DOJ.
Yes, let's just see moving forward how this prospers, di ba? Pero I should only imagine kung ano nararamdaman ni Nino Mulak.
Of course,
because
as a
Nino
father.
was also an actor, di ba?
Yes.
And then this is the industry that Nino supposedly, parang sinasabi niya, this is the industry that he loves. He grew up in. So he's medyo dismayed that something like this happened. All right, let's move forward. Moving over to our top 6, the government still calls on Filipinos in Lebanon to leave the country. This as tensions between Hezbollah and Israeli forces continues to intensify. The Foreign Affairs Department says they are now considering to place Lebanon under Alert Level 4. That would mean mandatory repatriation for all Filipinos, whether documented or not.
Sana tugunan nyo yung tawag namin, no? Hindi namin magagarantiya inyong kalikasan o inyong katiwala, inyong safety kapag nagkaroon ng gera at sana hindi maabot doon.
Actually, tinaasan nga nila yung mga ibibigay nilang assistance dito sa mga i-repatriate nila natin ng mga Pilipino from Lebanon. From 75, they changed it to, from 50,000 to 150,000. So 75,000 will come from the DMW and 75,000 will be provided by the OWA, Overseas Workers Welfare Administration.
Pero hindi yan malaki ha kasi
Hindi. Oo, definitely.
most of them yung mga matatagal na doon, mas lalo na those who work in the ships in those areas, they earn somewhere between $1,500 to $2,500. So
that's
this is
how much
roughly
in peso?
75,000 to 150,000 ang kinikita nila. It depends sa type of work. But yun on the average 70,000 yan. And if it's let's say 150 ang offer, that's 2 months. Well, that should be enough for them to decide in this next 2 months, kunyari mapauwi sila, whether they still want to go back or tatayo sila ng small business
sila ng assistance
or
dito.
mag-assistant sila dito.
Oo.
But definitely kasi safety is still our
Of course, no amount
number one.
of money,
Oo.
diba?
We have to reiterate and put our foot down in government that safety is still the number one concern. Kasi at the end of the day, if you decide against
Buhay
safety
pa rin
sila,
pag-uusapan
number one,
dyan.
buhay nila, may pamilya sila dito. Number two, the things that can happen after, gobyerno din sasalo niyan. So at the expense din of the government. So at the end of the day, we're all looking to our nation to decide. Ano ba talaga?
Alright, let's continue with our countdown. Entering our top 5 is Mpox. The World Health Organization, or WHO, is against travel restrictions in preventing the spread of Mpox. WHO said nations should refrain from imposing travel-related health measures like screening, testing requirements, or vaccination. Instead, they urge authorities and healthcare providers to inform travelers with relevant information about Mpox to protect themselves from the illness. WHO also reminded individuals to avoid exposing themselves to others if they are suspected to have Mpox.
Monkeypox.
Mpox na tawag na nila kasi ayaw na nila gawin yung monkeypox. Nagkakaroon kasi ng negative connotation, di ba, sa monkeypox. Pero dito sa atin, sa Pilipinas, yesterday,
How many cases?
DOH, nag-issue sila ng statement na meron na tayong 1 case of Mpox
Ito yung
detected.
through sexual transmission na?
Close contact.
No, kasi sabi intimate contact daw 3 weeks ago. Yan ang sinabi.
Pero wala kasi siyang travel history. Itong merong Mpox.
Kasi sinabi this person who has it daw had intimate contact.
What I really want to know kung nasaan ngayon yung person na yun. Tsaka yung mga
sinabi
naging
naman,
in contact.
Parang sinabi naman where he was. He was in a hospital daw recovering. Parang hindi naman tinago, pero they were saying where he was and then on the road to recovery already. And they're also doing contact tracing. If ever.
Sa mga nakahalubilo. Protocol yan.
For any infectious disease naman, protocol is to contact trace
Right.
lang naman.
Alright, sige, let's continue with our countdown.
Coming in at top 4, EDCOM 2 Executive Director Carol Mark Yee shares possible solutions to the learning gap. In an interview with The Big Story, Yee said teachers should focus on teaching alone. He added that more textbooks are needed and education agencies should properly coordinate. A World Bank study earlier estimated that the learning gap in the Philippines is 5.5 years.
The first is teachers. You know, our teachers could not teach because they're saddled with so many other responsibilities. When you go down to the ground to talk to teachers, they say, "Sir, we cannot teach. We're handling gulayan sa paaralan. We're doing school-based feeding program."
Yun. So, isa sa mga ina-address kasi ever since nga yung workload ng mga teachers.
Oo.
'Di ba? Kasi as of now yata merong mga 6 to 8 classes na handle ang isang teacher, and ang per class ay would consist of 55 students, at the
Within
minimum.
35 to 55 students. And then sabi ng teacher, instead of providing quality education so each of her students, na mas madali sana pag mas konti sila, mas generalized na lang ang lesson at saka hindi
tutok
hindi intensive ang kunyari may isang topic, they don't delve into that topic for a long time.
Totoo.
Minamadali yung topic, quiz, tapos na,
Kasi
move on.
meron pang klase sa
Kasi
kabila.
may klase sa kabila. Aside from that, madami kang estudyante. So meron din tinatawag fatigue, teaching fatigue ang teacher.
Totoo.
Isipin mo kung 50 yan, may quiz ka, 50 ang i-correct mo. Diba? how do you handle a class of 50? That's hard.
Totoo. Tapos sinasabi nga din nila talagang tumaas yung learning gap ng Pilipinas, especially during the pandemic. Kasi
Yeah.
diba, number one, of course, alam naman natin, we don't need to explain that, na hindi rin nagkaroon ng kumbaga focus lahat, diba? Dahil ang hirap ng online eh. Diba, na magtuturo
Pero
ka
alam
online.
mo, naisip ko lang kasi, hindi lang naman ang Pilipinas ang dumaan sa pandemic. Every other nation dumaan sa pandemic. And yet, Japan maintained their yung learning gap nila. Hindi man malayo ang learning gap ng Japan eh.
Oo.
In other countries also, di ba? At the end of the day, we can point fingers to any of the situations that the country has been through. But it's still the number of students at one teacher
Yes.
is handling. Yun ang
Totoo.
problema. And
Importante
until you
yan.
address that issue and the lack of classrooms, then we will always have that learning gap. Baka lumaki pa yan.
Totoo. At saka yung sinasabi din nila dun sa matatag curriculum. Kasi divided yung mga guru dyan eh, yung mga sa education sector na sinasabi nila na dapat tanggalin na lang yung matatag curriculum. Dahil one of the programs ng matatag curriculum is yung Catch-up Fridays.
Yes.
Wherein yung mga estudyante magbabasa. The day will be dedicated for reading.
Oo.
Ang nangyayari daw kasi yung mga estudyante, dahil ayaw nila magbasa, a-absent na lang. Yun ang nangyayari. Pero of course, ito namang sinabi ni Deputy Secretary Sani Angara, hindi natin yan ititigil kasi ang hirap din naman. Well, I also understand that na kada may programa tayong bago, pag hindi nagustuhan, isa-stop. Hindi naman din also maganda
You have to
yun,
wait,
ano?
you have to give the program a chance. Actually, yung Catch-up Friday na yan ni former Secretary Sara and Vice President Sara Duterte, I like that because nung 80s, dinaanan ko yan. I was a grade school sa Ateneo. And we had Fridays, we had what you call yung SRA activity, yung skills reading activity. That was every Friday. Yung SRA kasi, kung alam niyo yun, alam mo ba yung SRA cards? May mga cards ang school, tapos dudukot ka ng card, may color-coded yan. Each student will get one card. And then he'll spend the next 3 or 4 hours lang in your chair to read that card. That card kasi is a story. And then when you're done reading that card, babalik mo yung card and you will get a corresponding answer sheet for that card. And they will ask you questions about yung nabasa mo. And then in your own words, you make answers. So parang binibuild niyo yung reading comprehension mo, how you construct sentences. Every Friday, I remember, pinagdadaanan namin yun sa grade school. So it was a reading, we call it Reading Fridays.
Ito, Catch-up Fridays.
Oo. So very similar yung program. I understand that because you're so focused on math, science, history, and all other things, economics, PE during the whole week. Di ba that sometimes yung grammar mo tends to slip already.
Saka yung analysis
Yung analysis. So every Friday we bring it back to that level na puro reading and comprehension ka lang.
So yun ang gagawin nga daw nila. Pero yung sinasabi nga ni Deputy Secretary Angara, itutuloy natin. But of course, pakikinggan natin yung ibang mga suggestion on the side.
I think he just wants to see lang for how long. He just wants to see in this period of time how effective it can be. I'm sure naman he'll be fair about it.
Kasi ini-explain din bago tayo mag-move forward, ini-explain din dito dun sa learning gap, yung mga estudyante na supposedly dapat mag-algebra na ngayon, yung basic foundation of math, hindi nila alam. That's how far the learning gap is here in the Philippines.
All right,
Let's
move on.
continue with our countdown. Going to our third spot is Senator Robin Padilla. The senator apologized for his previous statements regarding marital rape. In a Facebook post, Padilla said sorry to those who were offended with his remarks. He said it is not acceptable for men to force their wives to have sex with them when they are, quote, in heat. Several women's groups called out Padilla's statements and described them as blatant disregard for women's rights. At least naayos na yung apology niya. Kasi yung nakaraan na pag-sorry niya, parang nag-gaslight pa na parang huwag kayong ma-offend. Pag ganito, dahil ina-address ko lang naman yung Ngayon, diretsong apology.
Ako, offended ako eh.
Offend ka.
Baka para kami mga dog when men are in heat.
Oo, di ba?
We're not animals. Men are not animals. Women can be in heat. Men, any human being can be in heat. Para wag niyo sabihin lalaki lang laging in heat. Ano ka, doggy?
Okay. Pero hindi.
No, it's a joke. Ikaw naman, seryoso. I'm just saying in general, we are not animals. We are creatures of passion. Diba? So, when you're creatures of passion, may mga stimulus yan.
Basta isa lang ang sinasabi nga ni, di ba, sinabi rin yun ng mga women's rights groups at saka ni Attorney Lorna Capuna.
It's not right.
No means no.
Of course. That's what I meant. I'm just saying, ayoko lang sabihin na in heat kami, parang kami yung animals. Naman, Senator Robin naman, no?
Sige. Ano ba to? Next countdown na okay, sige. Meron akong isa pang babalita sa'yo, Diego, and sa ating mga kapatid.
Uy, kilala ko to.
Renowned fashion designer Francis Libiran sits down with Sean Yao for an interview. Libiran shares his journey from being an architect to a full-fledged fashion designer. He also bared his inspiration behind the sinag barong worn by Filipino athletes in the Paris Olympics. Catch that exclusive interview on The Long Take on Signal TV and Signal Play later at 6:15 p.m. Abangan niyo po yan. No? And naging controversial din kasi yung kanyang sinag barong na pinasuot sa mga athletes, diba? So, maganda naman yung design niya. So panoorin po niyo yan mamaya 6:15 Signal TV.
Okay, don't go away because we're not done yet. May dalawa pa tayo. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Brunch here on One News.
Oo, sabi ni Oscar, top 1 siguro yung China Coast Guard. Tingnan natin.
Ewan ko, para mainit pa rin kasi si Finding Mayor.
Tingnan natin. Ako, alam ko na kung anong top 1.
Importanteng issue din yung nangyayari sa Chinese Coast Guard tsaka yung Manggaan. Pero para mainit pa masyado si Mayor. But I can be wrong. Let's see.
Sabi ni Garyfield, ang galing ni Sir Angelo mag-explain. Klarong-klaro, parang cheese. Parang si cheese minus the monotonous tone. Galing mo daw.
Para mahilig ako
Magkano
sa cheese.
kailangan mo, Gary Field?
Gary, halika dito. We'll give you the entire loaf of monai.
Alright, sige, let's continue with our countdown.
Going straight to our top 2, the Philippine government slams China's statement on the recent collision incident in the West Philippine Sea. The National Security Council says China damaged 2 Philippine ships, the BRP Bagakay and BRP Engaño. Recall that China blamed the Philippines, saying that our ships deliberately rammed their vessel.
That short video does not tell the entire story, no? It's a spliced video, it's a misleading video. It was not 4410 or BRP Bagakay who rammed 21551. It was the other way around. 21551 in truth ran our vessel BRP Pagagay 2 times.
The Philippine Coast Guard says this is the first case of China's aggression near Escoda or Sabina Shoal. It adds that this is possibly connected with the presence of BRP Teresa Magbanwa in the area.
We realize that the Chinese Coast Guard seemingly disengaged in shadowing our 44-meter vessels. Therefore, we can just assume that the Chinese government thought that those 44-meter vessels are really intended to reinforce our presence in Skoda Shoal.
Well, yung supposed Chinese aggression, medyong nag-escalate na not only in terms of how aggressive they become, but in areas where they have not been before. Nandun na sila.
Exactly.
Like the last time we had that issue yung sa Air Force. Diba? Yung aeroplano natin na...
Airspace ang pinag-usapan
airspace,
doon.
flares ang binitawan sa atin na aeroplano. And then now you have this issue na may spliced video pa ang China to make it look like na tayo ang may kasalanan. When in fact, if you show daw the whole video, that is not the case. Kasi twice daw nagkabanggaan Di ba? Twice daw nag-ram. Hindi ata pinakita yung una.
Nakita natin yung
Hindi pinakita ng China yung una.
Yeah.
They gave you the spliced version.
Right. I was talking about yung mga barko natin na nasira
Yes,
during
oo.
this ramming incident na ito. And yun nga, tulad ng mga nababanggit natin in the past several days regarding this, sinasabi natin, di ba, kakakaroon lang nung bilateral consultative meeting with China
That's
and
what I want
our
to,
counterpart.
Look at yung nangyari sa boat natin on our screens. Yung from the inside, makikita mo yung damage sa atin na barko. And then all of this is happening after yung sinasabi mga, supposedly, we've had discussions with China on how to possibly mitigate or even
Come up with peaceful resolution.
lessen the aggression in the West Philippine Sea para there is peace.
Ang nangyayari kasi, okay, no? Pagdating sa taas, okay, sige, peaceful resolution tayo. Pero pagdating sa baba, on the ground, iba din yung nangyayari.
Actually, I don't agree with that Kasi China, they have a very tight chain of command.
I know.
Kung ano yung utos sa taas, yun ang susundin na
Exactly.
So exactly, hindi
kung ano yung pinapakita nila sa atin sa taas, hindi...
Exactly what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying is, ang problema is how we understand each other. Kasi on the Chinese side, ang pagkaintindi nila sa usapan natin is magpapaalam tayo.
Yes.
Sa Philippine side,
Yung
hindi kami
decent-
magpapaalam, pero when we're in the area, while we're disputing it, we will tell you we're in the area. Likewise, gusto namin, pag kayo na sa area, you tell, siguro gano'n ang side natin para matapos na.
Yung recent resupply mission natin, 'di ba, may nag-shadow sa atin at chinek pa
chinek.
kung 'di ba, kung ano yung mga dala-dala natin. They're making sure na wala tayong dalang construction materials because that's ang ayaw talaga nila magkaroon tayo ng repair doon sa BRP
Diba
Sierra
parang
Madre.
bahay natin to So, ba't tayo, di ba, papacheck ko
So,
yung...
may mga suggestions na mag-create ng mga structure doon sa area to establish our...
A lighthouse.
Yung
At
mga
least a
ganun.
lighthouse.
Pero sa akin nga yung simpleng pagkain nga lang na ibibigay mo for our resupply mission sa mga nandoon sa nakaposte sa atin doon sa BRP Sierra Madre, hindi natin maayos ngayon na maibigay dahil doon sa shadowing na ginagawa ng China. Yung pa kayang hindi tayo makapuslit ng mga gamit natin na pag-construct ng mga suggestion nila. But I don't know. But still, of course, we're heading that direction. We hope to head in that direction na makapagtayo din tayo ng structure to build our ownership in that area.
To establish ownership.
To establish,
ito, sabi ko na nga ba I'm correct.
So, dun sa mga nagsabi na baka daw China Coast Guard yung number 1, yung nangyaring incident.
Pero si Ralph Domingo.
Number 2.
Si Ralph Domingo, tama.
Tsaka
Pareho kami ni Ralph.
si Tita Daisy Cancio.
Tita Daisy, si Ralph, tsaka ako, tama. Number 1.
Number 1. Returning to our top spot is Alice Go. Where is she? Apparently, she is in Malaysia now, according to Senator Risa Ontiveros. However, the Justice Department and Go's lawyer insisted the dismissed Banban Tarlac mayor is still in the country. Here's the report.
Where is Alice Go? This is a question of several authorities after the dismissed Bamban Tarlac mayor refused to attend Senate hearings about her alleged involvement in illegal pogos. But apparently, Go, who is also believed to be Chinese citizen Guo Huaping, has fled to Malaysia. Senator Risa Ontiveros revealed in her privilege speech yesterday that Guo left the country and entered Kuala Lumpur on July 18 using her Philippine passport. Ontiveros also claimed that Guo eventually met with her family in Singapore. The senator suspects that someone from the government helped Guo to flee the country.
Who allowed this travesty to happen? Sinong may kagagawa nito? Hindi makakaalis si Alice Guo kung walang tumulong sa kanya ng mga opisyales ng pamahalaan. Para tayong ginisa sa sarili nating mantika.
In an interview with The Big Story, the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, or PAOC, confirmed that Guo arrived in Malaysia on July 18. Its spokesperson, Winston Casio, added that Guo flew from Indonesia.
The Malaysian attaché, the Malaysian immigration officials confirmed that Alice Guo arrived in Kuala Lumpur on July 18 coming from Denpasar or Bali in Indonesia. And she was not the only one supposedly who arrived. Other members of her family supposedly arrived as well.
Some senators surmise that Guo used a chartered plane to leave the Philippines. A passenger of a chartered plane is not required to go to the Immigration Bureau's processing center.
Pag ikaw ay isang pasahero, gustong pumunta ng abroad, sakay ng isang chartered plane, hindi ka nadadaan sa proseso, hindi ka nadadaan sa immigration, diretso-diretso ka na sa gate, sakay ng limousine mo, SUV, and then pagdating sa tarmac, aakyat ka na sa aeroplano mo.
Prior to this, Guo sent a counter affidavit to the Justice Department. A certain Attorney Elmer Galicia claimed that Guo personally went to a notary public office in Bulacan on August 14 for her counter affidavit documents. Senator Win Gatchalian is currently verifying this information.
Talaga hong may pinagloloko ho tayo dahil parang lumalabas at bumabalik at despite na mayroon pong arrest warrant ay hindi ho ito pinapansin at imbes lumalabas at bumabalik po sa ating bansa. Kung totoo po na meron ho siyang personal appearance dito po kay Attorney Galica.
Guo's lawyer, Attorney Stephen David, insisted that his client is still in the country.
Wala, kasi kung out of the country siya, gusto ko maging totoo siya sa akin. Kasi nga, para magawa ko kung anong susunod na hakbang, di ba? Kasi hindi ko naman siya pwedeng pigilin kung gusto niya lumabas, di ba? Sino ba ako? Pero at least kung alam ko nasa ibang bansa siya, at least alam ko kung anong next step na gagawin ko.
The Justice Department also believes that Guo is still in the Philippines. But if Guo indeed left the country, DOJ said it will launch an investigation and find the people responsible for the dismissed mayor's escape. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
We're actually supposed to talk to Bureau of Immigration spokesperson Dana Sandoval. We're just having problems with the line, but we want to finally kasi nail this issue right in the coffin. Kung ano ba talaga? Did she leave the country? Didn't she leave? Where did she go? Is she back in the country or she's still out of the country?
Nagkaroon ba ng mga pag-alis, pagbalik? Or ano?
Kasi parang pag ang sinasabi nila, pag hindi pa daw nagsalita si Senator Risa Ontiveros, hindi naman nila linabas na wala si Alice Guo. But to make it clear kasi wala pa naman whole departure order si Alice Guo.
Ano lang siya, ILBO, Immigration
lookout, which means
bulletin
she can still go out of the country pero minamonitor yung movements specifically.
So ngayon, ang question dyan kasi, di ba recently, nung August 14 or 15, if I'm not mistaken, pa-check natin yung date na yun. Basta, nag-file siya ng affidavit, di ba, dun sa kaso niya para sa human trafficking
personally
case.
daw went to this sa Bulacan.
Nagpanotaryo, alam naman natin ang operation ng pagpapanotaryo, dapat nandoon ka, di ba? At saka nag-sworn affidavit. Pero, yun, mamaya balikan natin yung usapan na yan.
I think we have back with us on the line si Dana Sandoval, spokesperson of the Bureau of Immigration.
Good morning po.
Good morning. Magandang umaga po.
Yes, spokes, thank you very much for joining us. First of all, we'd like to get right to the issue. Ano po ba talaga ang status ni dating Mayor Alice Guo? Ang dami pong reports kasi lumalabas na she left the country and she's now back in the country or she's still not in the country. What is her status po?
Yes, if titignan po natin yung immigration records solely, pag tinignan po natin yung records ng immigration, there is no record of her recent departure and she is still in the country. But tayo po ay nagkaroon ng coordination with other counterparts from ASEAN countries and napag-alaman po natin na may entries po siya in at least 3 different Asian countries.
Okay, Spokes, so you're saying if you were solely to rely on yung mga records nyo at monitoring nyo, if leaving the country legally, wala pa kayong record, but meron kayong intel that she's in other countries as of the moment?
Yes, kaya po ang ating suspicion dito is she was able to depart through illegal means without undergoing immigration inspection. So inabuso niya po yung mga pamamaraan ng paglabas ng bansa na hindi po dumadaan sa proper immigration processes.
With that, Spokes, what passports could she have used? Do you think she has other passports aside from yung Filipina and yung Chinese?
From what we have monitored po, Philippine passport yung ginagamit niya doon sa kanyang pag-transfer doon sa different country. She does not seem to have any other passport sa ngayon. Her Chinese passport, yung Guo Huaping, is already expired and she seems to be using the Philippine passport only.
Okay.
Miss Dana, kailan po ba natin nalaman yung impormasyon na wala na nga daw po supposedly ito nga si dismissed Mayor Alice Guo dito sa Pilipinas?
Actually, nalaman po ito ng immigration last week, nung Thursday, nung nagkaroon po ng report sa atin, intelligence information, na meron pong parating ng Pilipinas. Allegedly, it was Mayor Alice Guo, Sheila Guo, Wesley Guo, and Cassandra Leong. Paparating daw po ng Pilipinas galing Singapore. They were booked on a flight back to the Philippines from Singapore. At inabangan po natin to at wala po, hindi po sila nagpakita doon sa flight na yon. And it got our leadership started asking questions. Now, why does she have a ticket coming into the Philippines when our records show na siya po ay nasa loob ng bansa? Kaya agad-agad po nakipag-coordinate tayo with our counterparts to ask them kung nasa kanila po ba or pumasok po ba sa kanilang bansa itong si Mayor Alice Guo. At doon po napag-alaman natin na meron siyang 3 countries na pinuntahan.
Kung last week po ito nalaman na po na may impormasyon nga po tayo ngayon na impormasyon po kayo last week na wala nga daw po dito si Alice Guo sa Pilipinas. I was wondering lang po bakit po nalaman po namin yung impormasyon na ito ng publiko kay Senator Risa Ontiveros.
Yes, minarapat po ni Commissioner Tansinko na ituloy muna ang investigation bago po isumite because the information that we got was very raw. Wala pa pong confirmation doon sa counterparts natin. The information po from the Indonesian counterpart, we got only, I think, yesterday or the day before that. At doon po nalaman na nag-transfer nga po itong sina Alice Guo from Singapore to Indonesia noong August 18. So, kinokolate pa po yung mga data at confirmed data before submission to the Department of Justice for investigation and because they are also our mother department and also to the Senate.
Yes, folks, I'd like to ask, you mentioned possibly kasi na lumabas si former Mayor Guo through illegal channels. No? Are you looking at possibly other people within your organization na pwedeng kasabwat ni former Mayor?
That's always a possibility po. Tinitingnan natin yung mga tauhan natin as well as possible other government agencies kung siya po ay nakaalis sa mga areas na walang immigration presence. Even private individuals, kasi meron, gagaya ng sinabi ko kanina dun sa ibang mga interviews, may pumikit para makaalis po itong si Alice Guo. Kasi napaka-tedious ng procedure of booking flight, of flying out of the country in private airplanes or riding motorboat. It's a tedious process and it requires a lot of coordination. So definitely po, merong na umasiste po sa kanya. Whether it be a government entity or a private individual, yun po ang gusto nating malaman para harapin po nila yung sanctions doon po sa ganitong ginawa nila.
Yes, that's right.
Yung attorney po, lawyer ni Alice Guo is maintaining na sinasabi po nila na siya po ay naririto pa rin sa Pilipinas. Pero what happens now po? Ano na po ang next na hakbang ng Bureau of Immigration regarding this situation?
We are requesting po na sana makansila po ang kanyang travel documents Although it's not within the purview of immigration, it's good measures from the Philippine government to be
Miss Dana, sorry po, medyo nawawala po kayo. Hindi po namin naiintindihan yung inyo pong sinabi. Pwede po pakiulit na lang. Yes po, go ahead.
Yes po, kung ang kanya pong passport ay makansela, it should extradite back to the Philippines dahil maiko-considera na po siya ng mga bansang pinupuntahan niya na isang illegal alien because wala na po siyang tamang documentation.
So, doon po sa mga ASEAN na bansa po na napuntahan niya at dinaanan mula po dito sa Pilipinas, we have coordinated with them. Nabanggit din niyo po sa kanina ito, no, regarding nga po doon sa kanyang pag-alis. But nabanggit din po ba ninyo doon sa kanila dito sa ASEAN countries na we need her back?
Although yes po, nabanggit po natin, wala pong authority or wala po silang basis upang i-extradite sila as long as her passport remains valid at nagagamit pa po niya ang kanyang pasaporte.
Alright, siguro ganun na lang po muna. Patuloy po kami makikipag-ugnayan sa inyo regarding this issue. But for the meantime, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras, Bureau of Immigration spokesperson, Dana Sandoval.
Salamat po and good morning.
Kasi mahirap dahil wala naman siya talagang wala pa yung case. Hindi naman siya.
In the first place, wala naman whole departure order to prevent her from leaving. Number two, she is still allowed to leave. Oo. Yun lang nga, ang problema, she left illegally. It's because walang trace
But, kasi di ba, sinamon siya ng Senate, kailangan siya ng Senate, hindi siya nagpapakita.
Walang trace of exiting the Philippines, but yet there is a trace of her being in another country using her Filipino passport.
So possible daw, back channel yung ginawang
And kaya nga,
exit.
medyong I would tend to agree with spokesperson Sandoval saying that possibly may nag-assist sa kanya, whether private or within the organization. I tend to believe that because she's using her Philippine passport. Therefore, if you're using your Philippine passport, meron kang level of comfort in moving. Meaning, alam mong somebody has your back. Kasi if illegal ang ginawa mo at walang tumutulong sa'yo, hindi ka gagamit ng legal passport. You'd have backup passports. Pero siya may level of comfort using
Kaya
it.
Kaya nga, di ba, ang kanina pinag-uusapan natin on the way here sa studio, sabi ko, bakit kasi hindi pa nila kinancel yung passport umpisa pa lang? Yun nga sinasabi, marami pa tayong mga, parang it's a process bago ma-cancel isang passport. Yun muna ay yung ginawa nila, yung supposedly pag-i-invalid yung kanyang birth certificate, which still in process right now. And to be able to cancel the passport, kailangan ma-invalid muna yung kanyang birth certificate.
For any deportation proceedings or para ma-notice sa Interpol, there has to be a pending case here in the country for any of these agencies to assist us in returning her here. Wala naman
So ngayon lang, yun nga kaya kanina tinatanong ko kay Miss Dana Sandoval ng Bureau of Immigration na nalaman pala nila ito na merong intel na wala dito umalis dito sa Pilipinas si Mayor Alice Go. Dismissed Mayor Alice Go ay last week pa. Pero kahapon lang natin narinig ito at mula pa mismo kay Senator Risa Ontiveros. So I was gonna ask her, kaya lang nakalimutan ko na rin dahil tuloy-tuloy na rin yung usapan natin. No, I was gonna ask her something else. Kung sinabihan ba nila si Senator Risa Ontiveros regarding this na merong intel. Kasi according to sa speech ni Senator Risa Ontiveros, galing yung impormasyon mula sa NBI.
Pero hindi ako magugulo. Okay, sorry.
Hindi, wait lang. Tapos kagabi lang nagsabi nga ang DOJ, ang sinasabi nila, based on their records, nandito pa si Alice Go. Ibig sabihin, hindi sila nag-uusap-usap. Kasi they are the concerned agency.
The mere fact na salungat ang sinasabi nila, then I would tend to agree why they try to withhold that information. Because hindi pa sila fully verified. One agency is saying the other agency is saying the other. So, natural lang na hindi nila i-release yung info because mag-uusap muna sila to verify.
Tagal naman nila mag-usap.
Hindi, syempre, mahirap. Intelligence work is very tedious.
Kaya nga, laki nga ng diba, ng budget sa intelligence.
Iba naman ang intelligence fund ng OVP at saka president. Alam mo naman yun.
Hindi ko naman sinasabi. Bakit nasama yung OVP?
I'm saying kasi, sinabi mo malaki ng intelligence
Oo,
fund.
intelligence fund. Pero hindi ko sinabing OVP.
Oo, because NBI is an intelligence agency. So natural lang dapat malaki yung fund nila.
Totoo. Malalaki yung mga fund nila.
Okay, with that, maraming salamat sa lahat
Sino may OVP? O, go na.
Maraming salamat sa lahat na nanonood sa amin at nakikitiis sa katapangan ni Angela.
Tiis talaga.
Nagjo-jokean tayo dito, walang pikunan.
Go.
And with that, I'd like to leave everyone with a quote na huwag mag-give up. And the quote goes, hold the vision, trust the process, from unknown.
Hindi natin kilala yan.
natin kilala.
Denial is not, ano sabi nila? Delay is not denial.
And that wraps up today's episode of Brunch.
Join us again tomorrow. I'm Angela Lagunzad Castro. And he is Angelo Castro III. We are One News. All sides, all the time.